patiently waiting for the stream of faith which brings life forever. The man of tomorrow. Who will be the man of tomorrow?
Here we are right at the beginning of the hydro move. We're going to bring the hydro from outside there and fit it inside. Fit a cupboard down there, put a work surface over the top, and then put hydro on top of it as well. So I will hopefully video each process for you. Here we are, stage 2. The large shelf has been put in place. That is now made up of the 2 smaller shelves that were there, split there, batten and shelf brackets. Now if you're a lot heavier you need to put the ones in with a diagonal, but the hydro I'm putting on here is quite light. If you're using a flood and drain, the weight of the water, you need to use a stronger bracket. Okay, here we are, stage 3. Self-assembly cupboard. Comes in a packet, comes in a cardboard box, and you just follow the instructions. Pretty simple stuff to do. And there we have a cupboard now, so we've got the freezer, the fridge and the cupboard. Next step will be to fit the worktop. I think I've got to screw this cupboard to the wall here. I'm going to do those and then I'll start fitting the work surface, but I might need an extra set of hands to accomplish that. Stage 3, the work surface. Cupboard's in now. I have to cut that up, put it to take the barrel, and the work surface is in. I couldn't get it out of one piece, so I don't know if you can see it or not, but I've put a split in it there. Done quite a good job of it really. I need to clean this up. As you can see, lots of marks as I was trying to get it to fit, but a bit of nail varnish remover and that'll be done. So there we've got an area at the end just with my bits and pieces in it at the moment, but the worm farm will go back in there with any luck. So there we go, stage 3 complete. Noticed this morning the first frost on the roof tiles. Up on the roofs this morning. So I am going now to move these twin trays. This tomato was the one that grew so much. It's kind of finished now, but you can see the one behind. It's just beginning to start. So this is growing over, right over into the neighbour's yard. I keep asking them to collect the fruit, but they're not doing so. I'm going to move it. But the main reason is because of the frost. Beans, loads of beans, peppers now. Loads of peppers coming on this. Hundreds of chili peppers. Cucumbers, we've had a couple of cucumbers off this week. I don't know if there's another one starting to form here. There's another one here. So yeah, that's 2 more in there. But yeah, really cold last night, so we're going to move that. We're going to pop it inside. Well, we've managed to lift that one from the wall, or both of them. One we've got inside, we're just sorting it out a little bit. You can see this immense growth on this tomato plant. You can see why we were taking it out as rotten fruit. And this doesn't help at all. You've got to keep them. You've got to maintain them a little bit, you know. Well, anyway, we should get plenty more tomatoes from that. There's a pepper in here which was completely buried. Beans. And then the one outside, it's quite bare at the top of the wall. Now you can see there's the cauliflower and pepper. There's another pepper there. That's one of the ones we planted in the beginning, not done too well. And this end was the tomato. We've pulled the tomato out. And now the conservatory is packed. Got to tidy up a little bit, but it's the cucumber kind of intertwined with the pepper at the moment. There's pepper at the back. remember the area at the back of those, excuse me, at the front of this one here is empty, there's nothing in it. Now this tomato plant, as you can see, has come straight over from the back, and you can see there's fruit here. Here we go, hidden in there, there's fruit, thank you Helen. And you can see why we were moving it. There's quite a lot of debris and stuff to remove yet, but as you can see, let it down babes, as you can see now, that's settled over both pots. Changed it a little bit, rather than having all these drippers, just put a T in this end of the feeder pipe and then 2 elbows going down. Obviously they needed the drippers when we started off, but this is working like a nutrient film now. It's just running along the bottom, working fine. And you may be able to hear the water that's returning. That's returning. Check these ends here, just make sure we're not going to get blocked. Do kind of occasionally get one of these balls in, and then it's major problems. This is the one we actually made in one of the videos, and the one behind it is the old herb garden, which had the wrong gravel in, which we had a major problem with. Now I do think we've got a little bit of a leak out of the back one, if you can see that. So I'm going to have to do something about that. We've got a little tiny drip coming from that. But bear in mind they have been outside all summer, and well, I've just picked them up and carried them in. That's not the ideal thing to be doing with them. So there you go, that's now our indoor hydroponics system, all being powered from that single barrel. The one outside I'll move around over the next few days. This one now is just feeding along that black pipe. It's just doing these. So I don't think that'll fit under the shelf, unfortunately. Well, I'll fit a small tap to that barrel, and then we can use that to feed these. I'll just put some of these maybe inside. Shouldn't need much more though in there. Should keep us going over the winter. Almost complete with our move. Cupboard in. Work surface in. Camera. Well, that's the laptop and the controller for the cameras. 2 of them outside. The shelf. It's now full of stuff. As is the cupboard. I'm going to tidy those up a little bit yet. As I've still got to tidy up some of the wiring. It's a little bit, let me see here, get all this together, and then I'll feed it out. You can see back there, there's a wire. I'll feed it out through there so cabling doesn't keep going out through the window. So the 2 trays now are on the shelf we made. I've actually put this wooden support in. It might not have needed it. I just be on the safe side. And we put these rubber suction things on the window. I did actually get hooks that you can glue to the plastic. We've got, I don't know if you can see them or not, but there's one up there. But they don't last very long, they pull down, so I thought I'd give these suction cups a try. I've used these on the GPS in the car. You can see up there there's a big spider moved in. So we have our cucumber. We have this pepper which was hanging over the wall last time. This is the one with the, you know, the long thin peppers. Bell peppers. See on this one, the beans which are coming from the back. This one we won't get much more off this now. We've had loads. You won't believe the amount of beans we've had off this little plant. And what was lost completely, this was laying down and trapped under the tomato, is the little pepper plant. This is the one, it's a bell pepper. It's one we planted really early in the season last year. And I thought we'd lost that, but there it is. It is having a go at some fruit. And then we have another bell pepper behind it. And then the tomato. I'll have to back off a bit to show you the tomato. Well, that's all kind of settled now. These are run by just 2 U-pipes. I've put a T, you can see on there. I've put a T here in the end of the pipe, and then there's just 2 elbows, and they run out the end. And then that drains. Showing you these on the wall. It's just a piece of guttering. All this is doing is stopping these balls entering this chamber, because if they do, they end up blocking the pipe, which is not good. And then the overflow. You can't put overflows in these. I've just then put an elbow in the end one and a T here. Now I went a bit crazy with some silicone just to seal up the ends of these pipes when we brought them in, and it's actually dripping from that seal there. When I took this off, it's a little bit too short, so I'm going to have to extend that pipe. It's a tiny little drip. Like I say, this has been under it. This is not even wet, it's just a piece of tissue, so it's a bit annoying that we have that little drip there, but it's nothing major. So, what else? The herb garden from outside, we've changed the medium now. That's recovering a little. Planted some rocket. That's doing okay now. This is the one we made a video on how to make, and you can see we planted. I put in the cabbage, cauliflower at the back there, cauliflower, and this broccoli are what we grew from seed outside. The peas and these beans we planted after we'd made it, and they've done all right. I think really I should put a smaller hole in this pipe in the dripper ring. It's slightly, I think a little bit too large, the hole. So rather than dripping all the way around, it seems to pick a couple of holes. It seems to be dripping here and round here, and then another one here. But it works fine. The other one at the back has got smaller holes in it, and that tends to drip more uniform. I had a major problem with this little tub, and this is the same tub my friend Ty has grown a bigger tomato in than that one. Those photographs are on the Facebook page. So I had a major problem with this. We got mould on it, and a lot of them died off. Some have survived, but luckily I've transplanted loads into the back one, so they're okay. The basil, I don't know if you can notice that. Look, we've got green basil. All our basil kept going yellow. I thought it was nutrients, I thought it was all sorts of stuff. Temperature. It's just temperature, that's all it was. Just the temperature. This is doing great inside. So I'm probably going to bring a few of the bits of basil we've got and just fill in these gaps. And then obviously I'm going to move some of these cauliflowers and stuff as these finish, these peppers finish and the tomatoes finish. So there's quite a lot of room here. There's lots of fruit.
Strike with knowledge, oh children. Within I know I rock is a solid foundation. Jah is our guide through creation. Have faith, bow patiently waiting for the stream of faith which brings life forever. The man of tomorrow.